NoahJ456. What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
I'm good,
Dude,
dude.
we just played an entire like 2 hour gaming session, so we've been talking for a while.
Yeah, we're already on the ball.
hmm
But that was actually like a sick game mode. I
hmm
honestly, for people that maybe didn't catch it, we just did a mini. It's like a mini game for it's multiplayer, and there's probably 15 different game modes, and you have like 8 people in it, and it'll just say don't stop moving, and you get a point if you beat that challenge. But then there'll be crazy ones where you have to run away from margwas and the other players are margwas,
hmm
or everyone is in a circle, and everyone has gravity spikes, and the first person to slam down wins. So I like to see more mods. Mods are finally starting to go.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that is like. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to tell because the community is like so much different and bigger since World at War. But that's the kind of stuff that like made World at War so good and like kept it going for so long. Is like the mods transitions from like box map with Black Ops or with World at War like default weapons to like these crazy things with like you've got a staff sword that like turns into both things. Like the crazier the mods get and the more time goes on, that's like where mod tools kind of like shine.
Yeah, well, I mean, with World at War, there's been some pretty insane stuff done. If you look at the more modern things, like the one that really stood out to me was the Avengers map, where there's all these different
Yeah.
suits and you can be Hulk and all this stuff. And you think what happened with those maps, and then you take the engine, what, 8 years later, 7 years
A
later.
lot. Many years.
I mean, right now it's kind of weird though because you have only the giant textures still.
hmm
So I would say what's been made so far for what we have, I think is pretty good. But like at the same time, it's not even. It's like 5% of what we're gonna totally get. I
Yeah.
would say, right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
And
yeah. Go ahead.
it's like obviously the multiplayer is kind of branching out, and that's what I'm hoping, and kind of what I thought about today because I like I was thinking it was like, dude, this is like 8 players versus versus player Margwas and stuff like that. I really want someone to make a mod that lets you play more than 4 players in zombies, so we could do like huge 8 to 10 YouTuber Easter eggs or like challenges where we all have to like it's 10 player starting room challenge or something like that. That's the next big thing I think would be awesome for zombies as far as mods go. Uh, I hope. hmm hmm Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be sick. hmm Yeah. Dude, like even if they made just a grief mode mod for Black Ops 3, like I don't know. I think the biggest limitation on zombies right now is like it's still kind of like in its initial bubble of mod tools that is for Black Ops 3, and once it kind of like breaks that wall, it'll open up wide. And I mean I think CODware is like the first step of that because that's like something brand new. I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm back. My mic just ripped,
You get
but
it?
we're good. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool.
Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, we just my mic like just detached from itself. I don't know.
No
Anyways,
worries.
what I was talking about is there's this London map, uh,
Yeah.
Old
Okay, old
London, I
one.
think it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's for Black Ops 3,
yeah.
and the guy actually made his own textures with it.
hmm
So instead of using all the assets from the Giant, which every single person uses, which honestly, I mean, I've said this a million times, but it's so annoying to go into a custom app and just hear that like do
Yeah,
do
the giant round change and like the
yeah.
dog round, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I feel like a lot of the Black Ops remaps, and I think you do a lot more mods than me. They're
Mhm.
just so basic at this point. It's like, okay, another viable ending, you know?
Yeah, there's some that's kind of broken the mold with that. There's one that I think you played it. I think I remember seeing you play it. There's one that was kind of like Origins slash Mob of the Dead style that had a big long Easter egg, and like it had four staff locations that you could go and like build them at the bottom. I don't remember if you played it or not.
Damn.
That was like one of the
115
few.
Caves?
Not that one. It looked similar, but I'll have to remember the name of it.
Okay. Was that a recent one? And I think people.
No, it came out a while ago, but I don't think he's
remember
released
that.
one since.
Okay. Yeah, there's definitely some things going on, like you said. Whenever someone up makes it like a new kind of pushing the fold with what they have so far, that's exciting, and I like to stream that kind of stuff. But a lot of the maps are just like box maps, you know? And actually, I saw that one that you did yesterday, the SpongeBob one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sick! There's a SpongeBob map, and then I played it. I'm like, I
loaded in and I was like, well, this is going to be a really, really short stream. So I just ended up playing the World at War SpongeBob one. That was like awesome. That's like one of my favorite like custom maps that are like kind of just for fun, not taking yourself seriously.
That went huge on your channel, I remember. You like
that was one of my first viral custom videos.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I feel like that's one of those things is sometimes it's just kind of random. I mean, like, it was a sick mod. Don't get me wrong, but it was like, whoa. I just remember seeing that. I was like, damn, Noah's just like, what, like 3 million views or something?
Yeah, I think I did it twice just because the first one did so well. I was like, I wonder if people will watch again. And I think between them, they got like 3 million views. So
wow.
I mean, like, you guys think there's like big secrets we know of, like how to get videos to go viral on YouTube? Like, we have no idea half the time what's going to do viral. We just put out our content and hope it does well, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, I always say it's basically like you know where the target is roughly, and you're just throwing ideas at a wall, and sometimes you hit a bullseye, and you know, a lot of the time you don't. But you know, sometimes you just get lucky, you just hit the right video. But it seems like right now with YouTube, sick transition here, that's going to be a lot harder to do, which we were just talking about before this, man. Like YouTube, I feel like you know a little bit more about it than I do, about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I basically, from what I understand so far, is YouTube has always kind of like been a bulk uploading platform. Like, I forget the stats. It's like hundreds of thousands of hours are uploaded to YouTube, like every minute, like every second. There's all this footage being uploaded, and that's kind of what YouTube is, right? Like, you have all this footage being uploaded. You have your people who are like your creators that you watch, that you always see their new stuff. And then there's like the random stuff. Like, I think on the trending page last week was like someone just took a cell phone video of a train running through some snow and like spraying people. Like, that's the kind of stuff that like will go viral, but doesn't build a channel out of it. Like, you're just a random person who recorded that. So it's always kind of been like that. And obviously YouTube like puts ads everywhere on their site. And that's kind of like what the problem has been recently, is the people that there's like the extreme examples, like I mean, the article I read was talking about like there was like terrorist videos out there who were like, obviously ads run everywhere on YouTube. Ads were running in front of those videos that were like promoting terrorism, you know, like saying whatever. I won't go into that part, but like saying like whatever that's obviously like you don't want your brand associated with, like, say, I don't know, what's a random brand that we can do?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, yeah. So you're Coke. You're this massive corporation, right? You've got like all that. Like, you are like, if something goes wrong with your like advertising, like you're the big marketing guy or something, and Coke is like basically running right next to, like, it would basically be like you were paying to have someone in that video holding a Coke, because it's Coke ad then the video, and you don't want to pay for that, right? This is a very extreme example. But
it's I'm sure it's happened. Not with
this
Coke,
is the problem. This is what I mean.
Yeah.
It's obviously a big enough problem that it's caused. I forget the list of them. It's like an insane amount of big companies to pull all advertisement from YouTube. It's not like I only want to run this on kid-friendly content, or I only want to run this on like advertiser-friendly content. It's saying, YouTube, you do not have your crap together. My ads are running in front of these like extremely inappropriate or extremely like racist or like whatever videos. We're not going to run ads on your site. So they completely pull out all their support of the site. And obviously that's kind of like what you guys have been seeing with, like, if you follow Twitter and everything like that. I mean, YouTube's trying to get their advertisers back, basically.
Yeah. So I'm hearing it's called a YouTube boycott, which I like the sound of that, because it's not these advertisers saying we're done with YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of like a YouTube strike. Like, hey, we'll come back when you get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, currently it kind of sucks. Like, people have been saying, taking huge cuts in like revenue. Like, I've heard 50%, 25%. Some people even saying more than that. But the thing is one side of me, I always see this. I remember with YouTube Red, this was a huge drama where, oh my God, it's going to screw YouTube. And even a few months ago where you would like lose subscribers when you uploaded a video. The trend is when something goes wrong with YouTube, everybody tends to over-exaggerate.
Mm-hmm.
But you said this before we started. It actually has me thinking a lot that usually when people freak out about something on YouTube, it's something that YouTube has done. It's their own fault. They usually shoot themselves in the foot and, oh, hey, let's, just do something and not tell anyone about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with this time, it's like out of their control. It's the advertisers.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that keeps YouTube afloat.
Mm-hmm.
So remember back, I think must have been September or October when this first started. The I'm not advertiser friendly, my channel, all this kind of stuff. And when that started, people started freaking out. But I remember some people saying the argument, well, I mean, it's the advertisers' money and they can do what they want.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Do you think this is going to affect YouTube like long time or?
I think I mentioned this to you before. I think that this is the biggest deal that's happened so far. I think it's kind of like, I mean, if you this may be the first a lot of you guys are hearing of this, but if you've kept up with YouTube for a while, I mean, obviously you and I, like, we basically know everything that's going on with YouTube. Like, this is our platform, this is our job, this is what we dedicate our time to. But this may be the first time you guys are hearing about this. In my opinion, this is way worse than anything that's happened. So if I was going to list examples, but really anything that's happened in my recent memory of YouTube, because it's affecting not just the people who are like not advertiser friendly, like obviously PewDiePie was taken off the premium program where they like the people who pay to make sure their ads are being run next to family friendly content. PewDiePie was making like obviously like that whole situation, like the Holocaust jokes and everything like that. He was taken from that. This is no longer affecting just the people who are putting that kind of content out there, whether it's comedic content, whether it's just like using a lot of curse words, whether it's like doing whatever that's not advertiser friendly. It's not just affecting those people, it's affecting everyone on the site who's a creator. And I think people like us who have established channels, I think will be okay. But I think this is going to be a big hit to those who are like just making it by on YouTube, who are like, they need every view, they need that revenue from every view in order to keep doing this as a job, because it's a great job, but it's the entire way that we can do our job is if people are watching our content and if we're getting paid for that. And if that's not happening, then
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember back in the day on YouTube, it felt like you were either killing it or it wasn't your job. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And YouTube's grown a lot now where you can be like a smaller creator and be getting by, like you said, where this is like it's people's jobs, and this is that 50% cut is the difference between whether you can make rent or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And with a lot of the bigger guys, it sucks, but you're like you said, I think with me and you, I think we'll probably be fine. But with a lot of those smaller guys, that would be very scary.
Yeah, I know people personally who they love this as a job. I mean, obviously it's a fantastic job, but one thing that like tend to be kind of like I think looked down upon by people is that this is a job at the end of the day. And as much as like you and I love making videos, I could not dedicate the time I put into this if this wasn't my job. I would be able to put out maybe like one video every couple days, maybe like once a week. And then I'd have to be working and earning revenue, like paying off student debt, everything like that. I would not be able to dedicate the time, and neither would anyone who you're subscribed to right now. Like, it's not just for Pat and I, it's for anyone you're subscribed to. If the revenue's not there, the content cannot be as often or as much as it currently is.
Yeah. A very long time ago, people would really shun you for making money. I remember back in the old Call of Duty days, like Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, man, if you did a sponsored video, people would hate you. And I think I think people have grown to understand that hey, all this free content can only be possible if there are ads and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
the one thing I do think is, at the end of the day, even like, let's say all the advertisements on YouTube are gone, no more ads.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, like branded integration videos are still a thing, because I mean, you know, we have a following. Like, you've got almost 3 million subscribers now. There are advertisers out there that want to advertise on your channel, and there's people that want to advertise on my channel. So even if that is to happen, and again, it's easier to say this if you're a bigger guy, you're going to be able to find a way. And even with YouTube now, where they have like donations, like people do donate a lot. Stuff like that is helpful.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things, man. And like, YouTube is the best job, but it's also the most volatile job, and it's the most stressful job. And it's
it's so true.
Yeah. I feel like that, in a way, that makes it almost better, because you know that you kind of have to go at it full force or it's not going to work. But it's so much more rewarding when you can make it work.
Yeah, I think the big everyone's always like, oh, why are you putting up a sponsored video? Like, you're already a YouTuber who like just bought a new car, whatever. Like, the thing is with YouTube is like, it could be gone tomorrow. We have no control over it. And I think one of the big pieces of advice that I've kind of like taken to heart, and I think it's hard to do. It's extremely hard to do, like beyond hard to do. But I think do you know who Bernie is from Rooster Teeth? The kind of CEO. I think he's the CEO. He's like kind of the founder of Rooster Teeth. Whenever, I think the last time the big YouTube, like, everyone was like, oh, YouTube is over, it's ending, everything like that. He tweeted out and said something along the lines of like, don't throw all your chickens into someone else's coop, or something along those lines. Where it's like, if you put everything into YouTube, like, and you have no control of it, I mean, that's kind of your own fault. So I think it's one of the hardest things to do, but it's kind of something I've kind of tried to take into advice, and kind of branching out from just YouTube being everything, you know?
See, that's my big thing, man. I only do YouTube. You know what I mean? I don't know if you do anything else. Like, I know the big thing a lot of YouTubers do is like real estate, and they buy other houses and stuff like that. But I'm just like sitting here, and I'm like, I don't know what else I want to do. I mean, I've started other channels. I run Top 10 Trends with Matt, and I figured, well, it'd be good to have another income source. But at the same time, it's still YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So what else? Do you do anything else, or?
I mean, that's why I'm saying it's so hard. Like, I think that's kind of, it's very hard for me to do right now, because I mean, I'm like super busy per day, because I mean, go to school in the morning, stream basically for a couple hours at night, and then whatever time I have left over, I'm either hanging out with my girlfriend or doing homework, and then I go to sleep. That's like every day. And I mean, that's almost over for me because I'm almost finished with college. But I mean, yeah, it's very hard to do. I mean, obviously the real estate is the big one. That's kind of something that, I mean, you can do, but you have to be well established to get into it, you know?
Yeah. Like, I see. I mean, there's definitely some big guys out there that really do it well, like T. Martin, and like Quebblecop's a guy that, you know, he's buying houses left and right. I met him in London a couple months ago, and he was talking about, oh, I have like 4 or 5 houses right now, but I'm gonna sell them all and like get a big complex, and that's nice if you can do that. But
yeah. Yeah, so I think the main point that I took away from that comment that he made was, you can always like do YouTube the whole time, but always kind of be thinking about the next thing. Don't become kind of complacent.
Yeah.
So trying to. Not that I've really done a lot on that, but it's something that I always try to keep in mind, you know?
Yeah, well, it's good that you at least have that in the back of your head to think, if this is to go bad. And it is eventually. I mean, either your channel specifically, or, you know, just all of YouTube, or you move on to the next thing. It's eventually going to end, and to have that next thing in mind. Actually, I remember you saying this when we were in Wisconsin, driving in a cab back to the hotel, where the Modern Warfare Remastered event. Yeah. And I remember you saying, if you're a YouTuber, it'd be very easy to get a job for a like like social media marketing job basically.
Yeah.
Because you literally know how to grow you've done it
Yeah.
from nothing.
Yeah, your channel is your resume.
Yeah, exactly. And think, I mean, you can get a degree in marketing and online stuff, but I mean, if you have grown a YouTube channel, that is everything. There's branding and knowing how to like just title your videos in a good way. All that kind of stuff, man. It's just it really is the new age.
Yeah. But like it sounds funny, but it's so true. Like
yeah.
You're the way that I mean, if I like owned my own, like, I don't know, say I'm working for like Bungie or Activision, and I'm like, hey, I want to get someone who's like got fresh ideas for marketing and everything like that. Am I gonna take some like random person who I just saw like just graduated, has like a marketing degree, or I'm gonna take someone who knows what they're doing and has been successful in it? Like,
yeah.
I think for me, it would be a no-brainer. But.
Yeah, and not just YouTube, but also, I mean, you build your Twitter, which is, I mean, those things grow off of YouTube, obviously, but you know, it's all the same. How cool would that be, though, to get a job with Call of Duty for their social media?
Yeah, I mean, like the people who do it well, like do it really, really well. I don't know if you keep up with Destiny at all, but I mean. Obviously, every single game's gonna have haters, and I saw some of them in the comments of the trailer. But like the trailer that they just put out and the trailer that they put out earlier, it's just like that kind of stuff is so much fun. It's like, what are you gonna? This is your big reveal of like Destiny 2. What are you gonna do for it? Like, what's gonna be the theme? Is it gonna be kind of like, I don't know. Is it gonna be like all dark and grim? And it's like, no, we're gonna get this incredible voice actor to do this really, really funny scene with him in a bar that's just been blown up. That he's talking to a robot that doesn't care like about the invasion that's going on. So I don't know. I think that kind of stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would be neat. But man, I don't know. Part of me feels, and this is gonna sound so boohoo, and I don't want it to sound like that, but in a way, being a YouTuber, you're kind of like how do you go from doing this to something else, to a normal job? Because it's so awesome, and you have so much control over it, and you know, you're your own boss and stuff. I can't imagine getting a job now. When I was 16, I worked at a golf course, and I remember thinking that I had this terrible boss, and he was just so anal about everything, and you didn't brush this good enough, and all this kind of stuff. And I just remember thinking I can't have a boss when I get older. I can't do it. And that's my number one thing is I just want to be independent, right? I don't want to have to worry about a boss. And that's good and bad because, you know, being like self-motivated, obviously, but at the same time, you gotta be able to find that platform where you can be your own boss.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's totally possible on YouTube, and it's awesome that YouTube gives the platform, but you got to work for it. You got to always be working for it. And I mean, that's another thing that I liked. That who said that? I think it was H3H3 was like, on YouTube, you're only as good as your last 2 or 3 videos. And I was like, that is literally YouTube in a nutshell. Man. And if your last 2 or 3 videos are like, I don't know, you did like a video Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now it's like Sunday, you haven't done anything. You're every single second that you waste instead of creating content for people, you are becoming more and more like farther away from where you need to be, and more like, I don't know, it sounds harsh to say like irrelevant, but like every single second. So
well, and the thing is every day you don't upload, or every, you know, whatever, you're getting out of people's minds, right? Because it's been, I haven't uploaded in 3 days. Well, people haven't thought about me in 3 days, and like you said, it's harsh, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I feel like daily is so good, because you're just bam, 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 bam. But that's a really good like philosophy to have, because if you think about that, then you're always going to try to make your best content. Yeah. Yeah. So what's like right now? I mean, you're kind of trying to start your second channel up. So like, what's going on there?
Basically,
such a vague question. But.
Basically, it's been something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I kept putting it off, saying like, oh, I'll just do it when I'm done with school. It's whenever I have more time, because I'm so busy right now. And now that it's getting time that I'm like actually about to finish school and get out, I basically said like C's get degrees. I don't. I'm just gonna
Hey.
because I mean every single day for me I've been streaming. Let's see, what time is it? 8 p.m. Um, or it's almost 9 p.m. So at this point in the day, for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been streaming now for 6.5 hours, and I've been doing it every single day without fail.
Dang.
So
That is a
like
grind, bro.
so I mean I'm like pretty. I mean I was supposed to be on last Thursday and I just like I couldn't do it because I had stayed up all night studying for a test after streaming and everything like that. But I mean basically it's kind of this like it's more for me because I could do all this on my main channel, but for me I feel like there's the audience on my main channel that's wants zombies, and if it's not zombies, like don't even bother, Noah. And for me on my main channel is like kind of like my little baby. I gotta like always kind of give people what they want on it. And if a video does badly on my main channel, I take it like really really personally. I not in like a oh so sad me type of way, but like a gotta get better. Like can't do this type of stuff anymore. You gotta go on to the new thing that's gonna do well on the channel. And then on my second channel, it's kind of been like freeing, kind of like where I'm just gonna stream whatever I want to stream. And luckily for me, people have wanted to come over and watch whatever I'm streaming. I've played through the entire Legend of Zelda, which I would have never done on my main channel, but have had a blast on my second channel. Horizon Zero Dawn, and then H1Z1, all that stuff. So
That's really interesting. Because I think I kind of felt the same way with this podcast a little bit. Is I would upload it on my main channel and it would do good, but in comparison to my zombies videos, which like you said is what people want, it would do really poorly. Like maybe I get 100,000 views on a normal video, and this would do 20 to 50,000, right? And just seeing that, it's kind of hard to gauge the growth of the podcast, and it was hard to gauge just, because, okay, video, and then this video does really bad, right? And like you said, it's kind of demoralizing when, you're not putting out your best thing. And I mean, I just moved this podcast over to my second channel because I had this channel, it had over 100,000 subscribers, and it was just sitting here doing nothing for the longest time. I mean, I had kind of tried a thing with like you where, upload whatever I want, but I found I ended up reverting to just doing like multiplayer Call of Duty stuff. So I figured, well, you know what? I may as well just try uploading on here. And I really enjoy it because I can actually see the growth of this channel and, okay, we're getting this many subscribers and this many views. And although it's way less than my main channel, it's exciting because it's kind of, like you said, it's a new project, which is fun.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think for me, my second channel growth is way more exciting than my main channel growth, even though it's so much smaller. Like if I get a video that hits 50K views on my second channel, I'm like, oh, like let's get hyped, let's go. Like and then on my main channel, like if a video didn't hit 50,000, I would be like, oh, what the heck went wrong? Like, Yeah. So I think it's fun to like give the people what they want, and then say like, hey, if you like watching this, you may enjoy watching this other stuff that I do, and if not, no problem. You can still get all the stuff you want on this channel.
Right.
So, and yeah, I think me and you kind of had similar mindsets about that with the with us both doing kind of like what we enjoy and everything on the second channel.
Yeah, well, that's the thing where I'm at right now is I really want to get into Pokemon because I don't know, I need something else to post, and I see a lot of people going to Overwatch. That's kind of the the play for a lot of zombies YouTubers, but I never really got into Overwatch, and the only game that I remotely care about close to zombies is Pokemon, which is fortunately right now kind of a pretty good trend just because Pokemon Go really launched it up and Sun and Moon did really well. But like you said, it's kind of hard to not do zombies on your channel because that's all people want. And for me, I'm on Top 10 Trends that me and Matt run. I've had some really big Pokemon videos, like 2 with over 2 million views, a few with like 1 million, and I feel, okay, I have the potential. I know I can make good content, but at the same time, it's shitty trying to trying to do that on your main channel because you know a lot of people don't want it.
Yeah.
That being said, I think about where I'm at now with getting content out, and I think, man, there's no way I could basically do what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's a grind. Like I've done the school thing, and now I don't know. I mean, my brain's still kind of messed up, so I'm not like full power, and I feel like I'm getting back to that. So once I get there, I'm excited to be able to kind of go full grind mode again on YouTube. But as of now, I really try to like take days off and that kind of stuff, and schedule stuff in ahead. And it's hard to get everything right.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so easy to do. Like for me, and like for the podcast, like you've been doing it like tons and tons. I don't know how many weeks in a row now. Like
129.
So, yeah. So I mean, I think the great part about our second channels, like for me, with just like H1Z1, like whatever game I'm playing, and then for you, like the podcast. I think the part that people like and the kind of the attraction to it is that it's stuff like I know for myself, I still love playing zombies, but it's gotten to a point now where it's like I've played it. I know how each zombie game's gonna go. I cannot even look at the screen half the time and stay up. Like it's like
must be nice.
I've played the game to its like absolute that. It doesn't have that like new feeling for me anymore, like that new rush, and it's not something that I'm like extremely like. I don't wake up every day and say, man, can't wait to play zombies again today, but I will wake up and say like, I can't wait for the second channel streams. Like I like doing the zombies. I don't dislike it, don't get me wrong, but it's, I mean, right now until Treyarch comes back, it's gonna kind of be that way. Where I know when Black Ops 3 came out, shot as Visual, every single day I was like, let's go, it's time, another day of zombies. So
yeah. I think the big thing is with mods, man, it's so repetitive. I mean, I can't stream mods on Black Ops 3. I can't do custom maps at this point because I just get in and like you said, it's just repeat. You spawn in, get a quick revive, and then you're gonna get a gun, then you're gonna get a better gun, and then you're gonna get your perks, then you're gonna you hit the box, and then you're gonna get Pack-a-Punch, and then probably a viable ending. And like that's 95% of the maps. I mean, there's some very unique maps which are cool, but for me, I can't do that. So, I mean, I've done this before, right? Like during the Black Ops 2 Apocalypse, where we had Extinction and then Exo Zombies. I mean, I remember actually, I guess for Exo Zombies, you killed it.
Dude,
but
Exo Zombies 2017, mark it on your calendars, everyone. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, you got a little package.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sledgehammer sent me a, I guess for my coverage of Exo Zombies. I have it right. I mean, it's not gonna be anything to look at. It's just it's a jacket, and then it's got NoahJ456 on the arm. But dude, trust me, I know I'm in the minority. But Exo Zombies was so fun. It was so good.
Bro, I'm just jealous. I posted so many Exo Zombies videos. I don't think I've posted more than 10 Infinite Warfare zombies, and I'm getting all kinds of Infinite Warfare stuff. I'm getting like vinyls, and I'm getting posters signed by Lee Ross. I see this Sledgehammer game. I'm like, guys, come on.
Please.
But okay, Exo Zombies was all right.
I understand. You don't have to take it easy. I know how people feel about it, but
no, like I don't hate it because listen, I'm an Extinction lover. I loved Extinction, and I'm pretty much the only guy in the entire zombies community that feels that way. So I feel you.
Yeah.
Like, no one likes that thing that you like, but I think my biggest problem with Exo Zombies was I was just not interested in Easter eggs back then. And I know you were, obviously, and you did a lot of them. You crushed like every Easter egg. How many did you figure out on first?
I think I was first in the world for 3 of them out of 5. So
yeah.
Or no. Wait, was it 4? No, because the game didn't launch with an Exo Zombies map. That was like that bonus thing. So I think it was either 2 or 3. I don't remember.
And
so,
it would have been
for sure 2.
It would have been 4 if I had launched with that. But yeah, man, I don't know. Exo Zombies was like, I'll go back to Exo Zombies. I played with Pizza that like in December,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear the music, and I say, "Oh yeah, this is kind of cool."
Yeah.
I like the music.
I think Exo Zombies had what Infinite Warfare is missing, which is replayability. For me, I could play Exo Zombies over and over and over, and it'd be fun for me every time. Infinite Warfare, I can play the maps like once every couple weeks, and I'll be like, oh yeah, this is super fun. Like I like killing the alien, it's fun, but overall, it's not super replayable for me.
Yeah, I've never even attempted the alien fight or that Easter egg at all. I don't know how to build anything on that map. I've never even built a single pistol. That is how bad I am. I don't know. Spaceland didn't do it for me. I liked Raven the Redwoods, but like you said, I don't know, man. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's for me, once the Easter egg is done and everything's been solved. I mean, I wasn't like even going for Ghost in Skulls 2. It just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's
been solved? Has it been solved, by the way?
I don't know. There's a sign of Infinite Warfare, but I think, man, with Easter eggs, I think something that's going to make Black Ops 4 or whatever do really well is if they make the Easter eggs longer. And that's a problem because when you go back and do them, they're not going to be as fun. But Zetsubo sucked basically because it was a 24-hour Easter egg, right? Versus Revelations, where I think it's so good for the community, one, because with Revelations you had everyone just exploding. I mean, views on views and views. And it wasn't just like you and the other big guys where you stream at the best time to stream, and that's when you get all the views. But you had guys like Chucky who would just stream at 3 a.m. and get 10,000 subs out of nowhere. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I liked that. I liked how there was this huge community push. I feel like Shadows was a little bit like that, and Garad was a little bit like that. Dude, I loved Garad Crovey.
I think Garad, out of all of Black Ops 3, besides maybe DE, has the most fundamentally good and fun Easter egg out of all of them.
That is, you phrased that perfectly. The thing that's so great about it was when no one knew it, it was very difficult because that tube step, no one understood it, right? So you'd get by, but sometimes you wouldn't. You'd spend 2 or 3 hours on it. And then you have like steps that are actual gameplay versus, go do this and stuff. And then you would get to the boss fight, and no one could beat the boss, right? So that whole build-up was awesome because the first step was luck, and then it was a lot of team-based, and then it was just this impossible boss fight. And now that really hard step that had the whole community fooled can be solved just like that. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I think that's what makes an Easter egg good for me, is that it's really hard when you first do it, and then like I think overall Origins is the best Easter egg in that sense, and that thing was like so difficult to figure out how to do everything, and now that you know how to do everything, it can be solved in an hour. Like,
yeah, dang, I never thought about that, but I take for granted all those guys of the this is this and this is this and this. I take all that for granted.
Yeah.
But the truth is, I mean, if you think about it, it is a very tough Easter egg. And I think the thing that's so great about that Easter egg is there's a lot to do. You can do it solo, and it's very rewarding. Right? When you beat that Easter egg, it's so satisfying. But even going through it, you fill the soul chest, you get the fist, right? And the first step is just get all the ultimate staffs, which in itself is you're getting some of the greatest wonder weapons ever in zombies. And then you just go through it, man. And it's not easy.
No, it's not. It's not, dude. I think a good way, like if you wanted to put like labels on people, if you're a good zombies player, you can beat the Origins Easter egg like one out of every X amount of time. I don't know how many times that would be.
Boom.
But like
NoahJ just called me a good Easter.
Yeah. See. No, I really think that's like the test. If you can beat it solo and get through that Easter egg without at a reasonable pace,
Yeah.
I mean that's not including like, oh, I don't know what to do next, but like I know what to do. Here's me doing it.
Yeah. When I streamed that last Easter, and it took me 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
And that's just ridiculous. But I beat it, right?
Yeah.
I took my time. But now the world record is an hour flat, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
that's insane.
It's
That's
so
really
amazing.
really impressive.
The thing that kind of sucks about that is, you know, the step where you got to throw the G strike onto the thing.
RNG.
Yeah, that's completely luck,
Mm-hmm.
because you need to get the right foot basically.
Yeah.
And you could spend like 30 minutes waiting for that if you don't get it on the first time. I was talking to Star, the guy that beat it, and he was basically saying, now for world record runs, you have to get perfectly lucky on that step.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you can get a world record run now.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think that's the way it should be. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I think the little bit of luck that happens at the beginning of the Easter egg, like with getting the ice staff on round 4, I think that's like the good amount, because it's right and early in the run. If you don't get it, you can restart. I used to watch Zelda speedruns all the time, and those guys, I mean, like, I just dream about the day those guys come over to zombies and like optimize the Easter egg. I have no doubt in my mind, if like the Zelda speedrunning community just randomly picked up zombies, got good at it, and then went for an origin speedrun, I have no doubt in my mind they could do it in under 40 minutes.
Really?
Those guys are in like some of the most dedicated. Like, I will find every single route optimized to its absolute maximum. Like,
That's
find
amazing.
every exploit that can help out everything.
That's awesome.
It's super fun to watch. Like, if you've ever watched a Zelda live stream on Twitch or anything like that of just whatever game speedrunning, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, it's really enjoyable, even if you don't play the games.
Yeah, I watch a bit of Pokemon live streaming, and that is basically the most rage-inducing thing to speedrun, because it's about optimizing, but a lot of Pokemon is luck-based. So this move has a 50% chance of hitting, and you watch people, and there's key points in the game, like at 1 hour and 2 minutes in, there's this trainer, and he has this move, and there's a 50% chance I'll beat it. I'll beat him, right? And that kind of stuff, that's just, I couldn't imagine speedrunning. It's dedication, man.
Yeah.
It is insane dedication.
I back in the day, I think I actually streamed this, but like a long time ago, like a couple of years ago. I was learning the Ocarina of Time any percent speedrun, and just like I watched a video that actually explained how you do it, and like basically you're triggering a cutscene, and you're beating the first boss, and you're triggering a cutscene, and the way the cutscenes work is they're all numbered, and it triggers a certain cutscene. And the way you skip from like the beginning of the game to the final boss, and you beat the final boss in 19 minutes, is you have to look at a like white spot on the wall or in the circle on the ground for a certain number of frames, frame perfect, and then that adds a number to the cutscene. You walk through a door and you walk into the final boss fight. It's like the math behind it is crazy, and the fact that people have figured that out. Like,
I love that kind of stuff, man.
I think that's the coolest game.
The any percent, the any percents are really neat. Where it's not like glitchless.
Yeah,
that's basically what any percent means. Is just no matter what, you can do anything you want, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that is interesting. So, dude, you bought a house. Going back, we're kind of looping around here.
Yeah.
What is the experience of buying a house like?
Stressful.
Yeah.
As all get out, dude. It's, man. I mean, I was lucky that I had a really good broker that, like, I basically got in contact with about seeing a house, and she was like, so, I mean, I know it's super annoying. Like, I know you're a first-time home buyer. If you want, like, instead of having to talk to 50 different realtors every time you want to go talk to a house, go look at a house, sorry. I can kind of like represent you, and I take the same cut as like a realtor would, so it's no difference at all. But I can literally just schedule all the houses you want to go see, and then we can meet up someplace and then drive to each place and see. So that was like something that I didn't know happened. I thought I was gonna have to like know 50 different people's names and get whenever I want to.
Well, I was gonna say that sounds like how they should always do it.
Yeah. I believe so. I know that not everyone has the kind of license she did or whatever, but yeah, I mean, between knowing like whenever I went in for the closing and I actually signed it, like, I realized this is by hundreds and hundreds and thousands of times over, this is the most money I've ever spent, and like the least amount of time, and like 15 seconds, sign it, boom. Like, I don't know, it's kind of nerve-wracking, and like
I bet.
yeah. And there's always like I don't know, there's so much that goes into like a house that you don't think about, especially as like a first time. Like I know I'm like young, but I don't know, man. There's so much stuff that I wouldn't have even dreamed I would have to like figure out. Like I don't just like because I'm not living there for a month and a half. I have to set up, even though I'm not living there, have to set up water, electricity. I have to set up internet because I want to make sure the internet's working by the time I move over there, so that's working. I have to get someone to take care of the yard. I have to get someone to take care of the pool that's in the backyard. And that's just some of what you have to take care of from a different city.
That's some adulting right there. Is
Yeah,
what we call
it's max.
that.
Like it doesn't get more adult than buying a house.
Well, dude, when I remember, like, when I guess basically when YouTube first took off for me, I had to start paying these things called taxes, which I'm sure you know all about.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, number one, it's always a lot of money. But number two, it's just, I mean, I didn't have an accountant or anything, so I'm like doing all this stuff, and oh my god, I gotta. And I'm just thinking, man, this adult stuff, they don't prepare you for anything like that in school, right? You're not ready. You're not ready to buy a house. You don't.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm so convinced that the entire like the CPA organization of the world or something that like are the people who do taxes for people. You pay them to do your taxes. They like pay the school system to not let you learn anything about doing your own taxes or like whatever. Because I mean, really, especially for what we do and like the kind of stuff you have to do. I mean, I just set up like an actual LLC for my business, and I'm just looking at the stuff that they filled out for my tax return. I'm like, you have to get a degree in this to understand what it means.
Yeah.
Like really. So yeah. I mean, you basically have to pay someone, and I learned the hard way. You always want to get someone who knows what you're doing to either help you or do it for you and just pay them. Because I got audited when I was 16 years old, working as a basketball referee, and then working at an outdoor manual labor job in the summer. I got audited because I paid too much taxes. They found out.
You paid too much, so they audited you.
Yeah. So for the rest of my life, my chances of being audited are like huge because.
Really?
Yeah, because I got audited once.
Because you paid too much taxes.
Yeah, because they were like, some numbers aren't adding up here. It ended up that I actually paid too much, but because the numbers didn't add up, they audited it in the first place.
Wow, man. I mean, I actually, because I'm, I guess, like a young entrepreneur. I like, they saw my tax returns and stuff, and they said, hey, like, we'd like to sign you up for this program. Where actually I talked to a guy from CRA, which is like the IRS Canada equivalent. And they actually help you through all that stuff. They started a program thinking, listen, we may as well help people when they're young and at least try to influence them to be like good on their taxes, which I mean, I don't try to like avoid taxes or anything. My biggest problem is just not knowing what to do. And, you know, he came to me and kind of said, the biggest thing you can do and the worst thing you can do is not report your income, because that's fraud and that's like super illegal, because then it's like, oh, your income isn't as high as you say it is. You don't have to pay taxes on that money, all that kind of stuff. After that, he kind of assured me. I mean, he said, you know, as long, like you said, as long as you have a good accountant, which I do, they will know how to sort all your expenses and cover all that stuff. But definitely setting up an LLC is good.
Yeah, it protects you from a lot of things. Everyone in the chat's probably like, what are these words they're saying? But I mean, like, it's I don't know. It's important stuff for the kind of stuff we do.
Yeah, this is some real adult talk right here. But I mean, going back to the house, like we were talking about how YouTube's not going to be over, or it's not going to last forever. It's never going to end. I think the worst thing you can do as a YouTuber is you start getting this higher income, and then your expenses start going progressively as high, and you start living like, oh, this is always going to be my income, because at that point, you know, you're just kind of, you know, this is the thing with YouTube is it's not a career, it's just this short thing that's right. I think the worst thing you can do is go out just and spend it all. The second worst thing, or I don't know, I guess second worst thing you can do is not do anything with it, save it at least. And then the third, obviously the best, is like invest it into other companies or a house or stuff like that. And that's the thing, you say like, oh, I signed over this money, but at least you actually have
you have a monetary equivalent to that. It's not like, so I mean I don't want to start anything with anyone, but I think the dumbest thing you can do as a YouTuber is go out and buy a really expensive car.
Yes,
I think there are
agree.
YouTubers that can do it. There are a few YouTubers where it's like you're not like PewDiePie's never gonna have to worry about money for a day of his life ever.
Yeah. Like, let's just say KSI's
Yeah.
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're
Yeah,
KSI.
like KSI is huge. There are people where it's like you're past that point. But I think all the channels who are like, you're spending like everything you made on YouTube on a really nice car. Cars depreciate in value the second you drive off the lot. It's like, especially, chat, never buy a new car. Never buy a new car. Buy a used car. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. There's no shame in buying a used car.
Words of
Used
advice
car
from
is
NoahJ.
throwing away money. Like, you can find the cars that like are basically new. Like the car that I got, basically new. It had like, I think 19,000 miles on it. I would have had to pay almost double the price. Not that much. Almost up there, getting to double the price for it new.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's
I
no
bought
reason.
2012. What is it? I guess 2012 a year ago. And yeah, I pretty close to saving double on that car.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like brand
it's,
new. Yeah, I think they're like
it's such a simple thing.
35,000, and I
Mhm.
was like less than 20.
Mhm.
So, you have a car though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get to drive it much because it's 2 blocks over, up 8 floors, and then I have to drive it. It takes forever to
Okay,
drive my
because
car
I was
anyway.
gonna say, like, I know you're still a student, and I mean I never had a car until I stopped being a student because everything is so close. But
Mhm.
I wasn't sure. What do you have?
I have an Infinity Q50.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but
Mhm. Yeah.
right on.
So
Right on.
I mean I got a great deal on it. I looked around, did a bunch of research, and it
Yeah,
was like,
that's what
heck
I did
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I drove, like, I actually flew 12 hours away. Well, it wasn't a 12-hour flight. It was like an hour and a half flight. I picked
Mhm.
up a car in like a way more populated area where these cars are way less rare, Volkswagen GTI, and for anyone wondering. And anyways, just sliding that in there real cheeky. But anyways, and then just drove like 12 hours home.
Yeah.
I saved so much money.
Mhm.
So, um,
It's important for sure.
yeah, I mean, you need a car. Like, it's just I mean, you don't need a car, but buying a $200,000
Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, GTR. Okay,
It hurts me.
GTRs aren't that expensive, but compared to those other cars, at least.
I mean, it depends, like, who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really depends. who you are.
I think. Yeah. I mean, I obviously bought like way too big a house. Like I don't need a house that big, but the thing is, it's gonna be a huge investment. Like it's not throwing. Like I'm gonna end up probably making money whenever I sell that house. So.
See, that's the thing, man. Is like, oh, that stuff scares me. Like you said, just putting over that much money for a house. Like I just think, I mean, it's good because houses do typically over the long term property
Mhm.
gains value. So I think it is one of the best things you could probably do. But that I don't know, that idea just scares me, and people are making fun of me because the way I say car in the chat.
The care.
The care. But I don't know. I think I guess we're talking about this on this podcast. Is my biggest thing is I just want to be independent,
Mhm.
and I think about buying a house right now, and that is like really the opposite for me.
Mhm.
Is I don't know. A big part of me, I think, when all YouTube is over, I just kind of want to pack up and just like travel the world and just kind of like nomad it for a little bit. And I just don't want. I want to take on as minimum responsibilities as I can.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I'm not like saying like, oh Noah, you and your house.
No,
But that's just like personally me. I
Yeah.
think it's a good idea, but I don't know if I could make that commitment.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, like it's what I mean. There's plenty of stuff to invest into, and for me, like I don't ever, not ever, but I don't really like traveling as much. Like if I go on a trip, like I want to be there and back within a week. Anything more than that, I'll do it every once in a while, but I like trips being short and everything like that. So for me, like a house makes sense because it's an investment that I can live in, and for you that may just be like stocks or other boring.
And I mean I
stuff.
do like I don't know, you probably remember Woody's gamer tag.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, did you watch his what was the video?
How to make $1 million in 21 years.
Yes,
and it's
that literally I opened up an investment account after watching that video.
Me too, bro. If anyone is like, if you're younger, I mean, when I was young, man, I'm kind of weird, but like being so young, a lot of people don't think about these kinds of things. But that was a big thing, right? And the video is it's how to make $1 million in 20 years or something, or just search like $1 million Woody's gamer tag. It'll probably come up. And he basically talks about like you gotta, put this much money away, which is definitely a large portion of your income.
It's not something that you're gonna like if you're younger right now. It's definitely not something you're gonna be making right now. But the idea is the same. Like it may be 20, 40 years or 25 years, but if you're still putting money away, like it's still gonna have the same result.
Yeah, basically like index funds, and it's the whole kind of market, and it's a lot of adulty stuff, but it's good to be doing that kind of stuff at least, and having some future, and all that kind of stuff.
Nothing bad about planning for the future, like if it's something that you can do today, like why not? Like I started, like, I mean, obviously I wasn't doing anything with it, but before YouTube, every single job I would take 25% of my paycheck and just put it in my savings account, and then like the rest of it would go into checking. So
yeah, I'm pretty much the same way. I mean, I've been pretty much saving my money since I was probably 10 years old, and birthday money,
Yeah.
And I saved up to buy my first GameCube, and then it just rolled from there. Okay, the chat people there's one thing I see a lot of, and I don't know if you're ready to weigh in on this. It starts with an E, followed by another E.
Yeah.
It is Easter eggs for charity, which I feel like at this point, when it happened last year, it was like August. So I know it's a ways out if it was going to happen in August. But do you have anything to say about that? I don't know.
Let me see. So Easter eggs for charity 2017 is confirmed. That's been tweeted from the official little throw this in at official EE4C.
Okay.
EE4C 2017 hashtag.
I see you scheming over there. You're trying to make like a Jason Blundell comment. Like when he told you the Apothecant Servant is upgradable but not on Shadows. Like that's what's going on right now.
So I can say that. I can say that it's going to be in summer. And
so
all I can say is
September.
Yeah. And all I can say is we'll be traveling this EE4C. We'll be traversing many generations of Call of Duty. Okay.
So I like this.
So
cryptic, but it gives us a little bit.
Yeah. It's probably too much. I didn't say anything.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, who knows? Who knows what could happen?
Yeah.
But dude, that was such an awesome event. And I mean, I know I've already thanked you for this, but like seriously, dude, it was so cool. And I remember because it was ZHouse at the time, right? So there was like that hype as well as that. And that was, I think Easter eggs for charity honestly was the peak of the Call of Duty Zombies community. I think that day. If you think about how many thousands of people were all watching from everyone's channels, all that like combined together, man, it was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I know everyone's like, what are you gonna do? Zombies is dead this year, but I think the thing about the Zombies community right now is I think the daily viewers are like what I'm gonna refer to like a big group of people that I don't necessarily mean like subscribers. I think the daily viewers are gone, and when I say that I mean like the people who will jump on zombies and play every day. I think the people who are gonna watch every single zombie video of you just playing are gone. Not forever, but they're gone for now. I think the hype is very, very, very down. I mean, we've been here before, right? It's not the first time we've been here. I think the hype is down, but everyone's like, oh, the Easter eggs for charity isn't gonna raise any money this year. Like no one's gonna tune in because the zombies community is dead. I think the zombies community is gonna come back when it's time to come back, and I think obviously when Trent comes back around, I think Sledgehammer coming back around, people are going to be interested in seeing what they have to offer. I think the community is going to peek its head and see like, oh, what's going on here? We've seen IW's edition. What you got going on? Exo Zombies 2, and then I think EE4C is, if we can get the word out enough, is going to be everyone who was there last year coming back and taking part in the event again, and hopefully. I'm not gonna do anything crazy like trying to increase our goal, but I think if we can raise I honestly believe we can reach 100K again with the entire community.
That would be crazy.
So
that would be crazy.
That's the goal.
Man, yeah, that's a big goal. That's a big goal.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Man, I don't know what I think. I really don't know what to say to that. It's just the zombies community right now. There's still people here, and people say it's dead. But it's just in a slower time.
Yeah.
And there is the truth is there's still a lot of people watching zombies. If you look at all the zombies YouTubers channels, it's not like we're getting 0 views. People are still getting millions and millions of views total every single month. So there's still a community there. And honestly, summertime is always a good time in the zombies community.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna do well.
Yeah.
Excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little different this year. There's gonna be, yeah. It's still a ways away. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, you say that, and I think people ask me about ZHouse, and I would give the exact same answer.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be some traveling, but it's still gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. If ZHouse wants a little pit stop in Texas, they should come out to the house. I mean, whether this is before or after ZHouse happens, maybe a post stop or a pre stop. I don't know. Maybe a weekend stop. I don't know. All I'm saying is ZHouse in Texas for a couple of days.
When do you move in?
Let me see real quick. May 23rd.
May 23rd. Okay, so May. Man, I don't know when ZHouse is planning to do stuff, but that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're aiming for the summer. I really don't know. We're just looking at places right now. But as far as a ZHouse Texas trip, that would be really cool. Yeah, I've never been to Texas or anywhere's. Been to Florida. That's like the closest.
It's an experience.
I've been to Florida and I've been to California, and nowhere's in between. In the south, so.
Yeah, so you've been to the beach areas. This is the Wild West down here.
The Wild West, he says. Everyone wears cowboy hats, right?
It's buried to everywhere you look.
Yo. Okay. No, that would be pretty cool. And if again, I think we already talked about this, but. I think I don't even know if I should be talking about this with ZHouse, because last year I kind of spilled the beans on this podcast that we were gonna do a house. But I mean, again, this is all a lot of it's speculative and a lot of it's just ideas I've had in my mind that I haven't even glossed over with the guys. So if you're listening, no guarantees that this is gonna happen. But we definitely want to get more guests out this year. We had you and John come for a night. And we had Milo come for a few days, but I think it would be very cool to have a couple people.
Yeah, I was talking with Chucky, and I think he was kind of on the same idea, everything like that. And I was like, y'all should basically just get maybe an extra room or something like that set up, and just have someone every week. It's y'all's thing, but I told Chucky that. He was like, oh, that would be so sick, if we can make it happen, if it works out that way.
Dude, so. I actually had the exact same idea. Just have a different YouTuber come in every week, and then it would be the real ZHouse. We got to find a house first, though.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't want to say confirmed, but it's not going to be the house of last year. Very unlikely. A lot of it's just because I feel like that house was special to that year, and the zombies community was so unique then. It would be weird going back to that house to me a little bit, because it just would be so different. And I think, we were very far outside of LA, and if we wanted to, when you and John and Milo showed up, for, I forget what that was. Oh, that was for a Call of Duty event. Yeah, me and Chucky, we Ubered up to meet you guys, and it was like a 2-hour Uber ride from where we were.
It's pretty far from LA.
So I think we definitely want a closer place to LA this year.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that sucks is the closer you get to LA, the more expensive it gets. So all that kind of stuff, sponsors and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it seems. I mean, to the outside eye, it seems like, oh yeah, you just find a place to go there. But it's like a lot of stuff that goes into moving 5 guys into a house.
Yeah, well, man, like you wouldn't believe how close ZHouse was to not happening. I mean, we started talking about ZHouse in January.
Mm-hmm.
We moved in July 1st, and I would say June 1st we didn't have a house yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we had been looking at places, and places were scams. There was this one house, which I've talked about before, but it was owned by a lady in Beijing. And Jack went to go look at the house, and the guy that did the tour didn't say a single word to him. He, like, opened the door, showed him around, didn't say a single word. And at that point, we said, okay, this is probably a scam. We're just, because they wanted the whole payment for 2 months. Right up, so we're thinking, okay, they probably don't even own this house, you know what I mean? So
just randomly walking through some other person's house when they're out of town.
Yeah, and actually, where that house ended up being was really close to where all the LA forest fires, or I guess it wasn't LA, but all the forest fires were there last year. So we're really glad we didn't go there.
Yeah, for multiple reasons.
Yeah, but no, man, finding a 5-bedroom house, you wouldn't believe how difficult it is. Because the thing with a 5-bedroom house is it's on the edge of still being like a normal house and mansion. And a lot of 5 bedrooms are just huge, like tens of thousands of dollars every single month. And once you get to 6, that gets even more difficult. But 5 is right on the edge, so it's like you could find a 5-bedroom house like the ZHouse. I mean, it was a really nice house. I'm pretty sure it was $1 million house actually. It sold for. I mean, obviously we didn't buy it.
Yeah.
Buy the ZHouse, that would be cool. But it's tough to find a house.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
I mean, from renting to buying to even just looking at it, you have to have so much information before you can even go look. Like is it gonna have internet lines? Is it gonna have,
Dude, that was, oh my God, I completely, okay, the day of Gorod Krovi, there was no internet in the ZHouse in the morning. We were all freaking out. We were calling them up saying, there's no internet, like it's shot. I was streaming at like 720p, lowest settings I could go, and it was just lag. Like we had 5 separate lines.
Yeah.
And there was just nothing. And I want to say that dropped early night, right? It was kind of a good time. And maybe 2 or 3 hours before, the internet just turned back on again. And man, I was like, I was shitting my pants. Because for Dreisendrack, actually, my internet cut out in the morning. So for the first 6 or 7 hours.
Most frustrating thing in the entire world.
On a DLC day, right? Which is, I mean, the biggest day for any Zombies YouTuber. And it cut out, and I'm just thinking, man, I had a great run with Zetsubo. I'm thinking Gorod Krovi is going to be just, again, the worst thing ever.
I mean, that's why it was so disappointing whenever I can't remember if you were streaming at the time, but the time all the false copyright strikes started coming in during Revelations.
Oh yeah, man.
That was rough.
So people were just hitting you with a false claim.
Yeah.
And saying that you have content that isn't yours in your stream.
Yeah.
And then it automatically just shuts it down.
Yeah, they fixed it now. I got on to YouTube about it, and they were like, "Yeah, it's all fixed now. There's not going to be able to do that to you anymore."
Dang, that is an exploit, man.
It really is.
Yeah. Was finding internet an issue for you? Like obviously, internet's a huge thing. Buying a house for you, was that an issue at all?
For me, I just kind of YOLO'd it. I didn't know how good the internet was going to be. I was just like, please let the internet be good here. Called up, who was it? I called up AT&T, and they were like, all right, the best we can do in that area is 24 down, 2 up. And I was like I was freaking out. I was like, that's so slow. That's like a 2 upload speed is terrible. And I was like, all right, who else services here? Only Time Warner or Spectrum, whatever they're called. And I called them up, and they were like, oh yeah, we just got our brand new business class installed here, and it's 200 down and 20 up. And I was like, yes, sign me up.
Nice.
So getting that installed soon. So thank goodness that worked out, because I mean that's a huge deal. You can live anywhere for YouTube, but you got to have internet.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Like, are you in a major city or?
I won't say where, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was. Yeah. No, where's your house? Where's the address?
What's the address? Let me look it up.
But yeah, okay, so I can't believe that, man. Like, California had really bad internet too. We had to get 5 separate lines of 300 down but 30 up. That's all you get. I live in the middle of nowhere, man. I live in a town of 8,000 and I have like 80 up. And I just pay. We have fiber up, so obviously, like that's the thing. But it surprises me, man, that a lot of places in the States don't have that good internet.
Yeah, I think the big thing is, like, if you live near like a college campus, that's huge. If you just kind of depending on where you live, because right now I'm just ran a speed test. I get 500 down, 600 up where I am right now, because it's just on like a college internet. So,
dude, I don't know if I should run a speed test right now streaming, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yeah,
we'll see what I might have a lag here, but
someone's chat goes, "What's everyone's social security number?" Don't do it.
Okay, so I'm like 120 down or so.
Yeah.
8 ping, and I mean I'm paying for not a business class, but because business gets really crazy here, but the highest personal one. Okay, so I'm about 50 up, but I'm also streaming.
Yeah.
So
I mean, really above like 50-ish, it doesn't make a huge difference.
It really doesn't matter. No.
Unless you're streaming like 4K video, it's not gonna be a big deal.
Yeah. So I don't know. What do you think? I feel like we've hit our peak.
Yeah, man. We covered a lot.
We have covered a lot. Yeah, it's been a good
second channels to state of YouTube to zombies to summer plans.
Yeah, man. Well, if the ZHouse does happen, you're gonna have to come through again.
Oh yeah,
dude, that was a lot of fun. That whole night, and then the drive to Santa Monica Pier and
that part wasn't fun. But
the drive wasn't. No.
Poor Jack, dude. Everyone's just asleep in the backseat. He's just dying up there driving.
Dude,
you were in the Uber. I think you were in the Uber, right?
Were you? I thought you were in the Uber. It was me and Nat.
No, I was in Jack's car.
Who else was there? It must have been me and Matt and Dalek, maybe?
No, John. It was Chucky.
Was it Chucky? Oh, okay,
yeah, Chucky.
I was thinking Chucky and okay, yeah.
It was me, Lex, John, and Jack. We're all in his car. Oh,
well,
man.
Okay, well, me, Matt, and Chucky, we're just passed out in this Uber driver. Like, we just said this is where we're going and just all fell asleep. And I wake up, we're almost to the Santa Monica Pier, and this guy is just bumping like the most gangster rap. And
oh, man.
Yeah, I felt bad, man. Like, we didn't even tip the guy. And he drove us 2 hours to the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah. I had that happen once. I was in Colorado, and we were 2 hours away. I was 2 hours away from the airport, and I was leaving early to go to a DLC event. Oh. I was leaving like a day early, and the guy was like, "Hey, man, I saw you're going to Denver, which is where the airport was." He was like, "I'm not gonna drive you all the way there." He showed up to the house to tell me this. I was like, "Okay." I was like, but he's like, "I'm not gonna drive you all the way there, but if we go to an ATM, you get like X amount." I forgot how much it was. It was like the amount that it was going to be, and just pay me at cash. I'll do it because I don't want Uber to take that gigantic cut out of it. I was like,
smart.
I was like, there's no other way I'm getting to the airport. Fine, let's do it. Because I mean, it seemed very like in line with what it should have been. So I don't think he's trying to scam me or anything. But I mean
that honestly is pretty clever for an Uber driver.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you got found out, it wouldn't be too good. But
yeah. Well, how do you find out? It's like, oh, I was just driving somewhere, you know. So,
yeah, I'm just going to see. I canceled my trip and went to go see my girlfriend.
Dude, I was so sad I missed out on that trip. looked like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
The most recent Colorado.
Yeah. We'll have to if the ZHouse comes to Texas, we'll do something fun while y'all are here.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, one last question. You get one word to answer this question. Okay, otherwise we're gonna end it on DLC 5. Okay, I'll give you a sentence. Sorry. I'll give you a sentence.
DLC 5. It's seeming very, very likely.
Okay.
One word. Remix.
Oh, okay. I like it. Oh, that's a good answer. Yeah, one word was a little difficult, but
yeah, I don't want to seem like I knew for sure that remakes are coming out. I've got the inside information. I think all signs are pointing. I really think we will get it.
Eventually. I ask you that, and you just say, "Has been confirmed by Jason Blundell remix." You just drop that bomb.
Call him up. And
Jason, Dad.
Jason, help me, please. I hope so, dude. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it would too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it there from NoahJ. Likely remakes, I guess. That's a pretty brief summary of what you just said. I don't even remember what you just said, but basically remakes and likely.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, guys. That is going to wrap it up. SmithSquad Podcast 129 have not missed a week yet in 2017, so we're killing it. If you guys want to check out Noah, which I'm sure most of you are probably already subscribed to Noah, he will be down in the description, youtube.com/NoahJ456. Go subscribe him up. He does zombies, or the second channel, NoahJ AFK, where you're not so AFK.
Or you're not going to find zombies.
Are you gonna a question before we end, are you going to change the name because you're NoahJ AFK?
The origin of that name is I was actually planning on making that a vlog channel, and then I realized I don't do anything all day. I just sit here and stream video games. So that's where we're not so AFK anymore. But
the sad reality of all YouTubers.
Yeah, that aren't daily vloggers. This is the real us.
Yeah. So are you just gonna leave it AFK? It's just like ironic.
Yeah.
Okay, I respect it. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming out this Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow with a awesome video. Watch your sub boxes tomorrow night. It's gonna be real.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. Trust. He's told me it's gonna be good.
No one knows. All right. Peace, guys.
Later.